Hello, I am Allison Doak, and for the Grassroots Advocacy Project, I chose to address the Florida's Two Strikes Law. So the Florida's Two Strikes Law is also known as the Prisoner Release Reoffender Punishment Act. It was amended in the Florida statutes in May of 1997. So essentially, an offender who is released from prison, if they commit a felony within 3 years of the release, they are then sentenced to the statutory maximum. So it actually has now determined or taken away the determination of an individual sentence by a judge and is predetermining the reoffender's punishments. Looking at the different felonies that qualify, there are violent and non-violent offenses, violent including murder, manslaughter, something that may be appropriate for maximum sentence. But then on the other side, there are non-violent crimes, maybe a non-violent robbery, drug trafficking, possession of controlled substances. In my opinion, these do not qualify for maximum sentence. And then we'll just kind of go into how this policy it has like a lack of preparation for offenders for re-entering society. And looking at that, at our data, for every 630,000 offenders that are released each year, 93% of them are facing challenges reintegrating into their communities and families. Just adjusting from prison life and back into society is a very difficult transition. Incarceration rates, the United States is known to have the highest population of persons in prisons, a whopping 737 for every 100,000 person. And then here in the PowerPoint, there is a list of numbers in other countries for their rate of incarcerated persons. And then looking at recidivism, 680,000 persons being released from jail, approximately 2/3 of them are being rearrested. And that just kind of goes back into the overcrowded prison systems, the money that our taxpayers are paying to, support these huge prison populations. There is something that can be done. And as social workers, we need to take a stand. Here is the amount of money per inmate that it takes to house them per year, $28,000. And I wanted to list this number because it just shows how much money is being allocated towards each prisoner and how that money can be budgeted and spent more effectively. So what can be done? Looking at the policy, I think it's very important to give the power back to judges and have them kind of determine the sentencing duration for an offender's severity of their crime. I do not think it's necessary to require maximum sentence for just a second offense. I think there's a lot of things that go into play prior to just giving these reoffenders a whole maximum sentence or life in jail. I think it's really important that a portion of our funding can go towards more social workers in the jail. A lot of our money could be used towards rehabilitating offenders rather than keeping them in this lifelong cycle of life in prison. That being said, it is very difficult for offenders reintegrating back into society to find housing or jobs. There's a lot of stigmatism against them. And so I think it's very important for our prison systems to work with the social workers in providing resources, helping them get occupations, helping them find housing, leading them on the right path. That way they are less likely to fall back into criminal activities. Also implementing more mental health services, again, preparing them for life on the outside. And for my advocacy part of this, I decided to write a letter to legislative person in Florida. District 11 is in charge of Pasco County. He is also part of the Criminal Corrections Department. So they are very aware and control policies implementing persecution for persons in Florida. And in that letter, I kind of just said that there are some things that can be done. I think that more money should be spent on rehabilitating our offenders, more mental health assessments and screenings. We need to have specialized training for our correctional staffs. I think group therapy and peer support program would be very beneficial. And the biggest one, I think, would be community partnership, allowing our offenders to re-enter society successfully. And I hope you take what I have into consideration. Thank you so much for your time, and enjoy the rest of your day.